Soundstripe.
Well, good evening, and welcome to My Spouse is My Best Friend. I am your co-host, Nicole.
I'm Dr. Jason Green.
And today we want to talk about why does couples avoid certain conversations. So have you ever had something that you needed to say to your spouse, but you didn't quite know how to say it or what kind of environment you needed to be in to say it? And so you just kept putting it off, and then you just eventually didn't say anything because you didn't want to hurt their feelings.
Or start an argument.
Or start an argument.
But it's real. We all know it's real. I think we've all been in that situation to where you just have something on your chest and you just keep it in and you avoid it because you fear of conflict.
Yep.
You fear of being misunderstood or dismissed. That they're not going to understand what you're saying, or you're going to say it wrong, or simply the fear of emotional pain. Right.
Yeah.
I think the biggest one is the fear of being dismissed or the emotional pain. And the reason why I say that is because you feel some kind of type of way, and then when you say it to your spouse and they feel like it's not a big deal, it kind of, well, you don't care about me. You don't care how I'm feeling. Mm-hmm. So I think that's the biggest one, which leads into the fear of conflict, right?
Right.
Because then you spill over to that, and then you're like, well, you're not feeling me. You're not hearing me.
And I'm not being heard.
Yeah, I'm not being heard. And so we kind of avoid those conversations. And if we do that, we get buildup.
Yeah. And so some of the things that we've heard from couples on conversations or subjects that they kind of try to shy away from is, number one, finances. Finances and money and expectations. Intimacy or unmet needs. Blending families, we hear that a lot. Or parenting. How one person's parenting different than the other person. Faith and spiritual leadership, believe it or not. And then emotional needs and unspoken disappointments, like you said.
Yeah, I think we talk about the money and financial expectations. I think we talked about that in some of our earlier podcasts. And, sit down and have those conversations with those expectations are.
Right.
Just don't go out and buy a boat and come back and say, here's my shiny new boat.
My boat.
Or here's my shiny new car. But have expectations of, hey, like me and her, me and my wife, sorry. We have a $500 limit, somewhere around there, whatever it is, 1,000, whatever it may be. But hey, 500,000, cool. But just don't come home with no
sofa.
Yeah, sofa.
Sore subject.
Yeah, you brought that up.
It wasn't for me. My daddy needed a sofa, y'all. But yeah, I was wrong. It was over the limit, and I should have said something. But my daddy needed a sofa. Shout out to my daddy on his new sofa.
Another big one is the intimacy thing. I mean, because that's a subject, especially with men, and I'm talking from a men's perspective. Your wife come to you and saying, "Hey, I have some unmet needs." How does that make you feel? Right? But you have to be willing and open to have those conversations, right?
Yeah.
Because it's real. I mean, I want to make sure that I'm pleasing my wife, and I want her to come say, "Hey, Jay, I need you to do this so I can do this." And I think we're open to those conversations, and it's hard to have those conversations as a man, and I had to learn that. But ultimately, I wanted to make sure that I was pleasing my wife in that area. So I made it. I don't make it a big deal for her to come and say, I want you to do this, or I want it like this, or stuff like that. And you have to have those conversations because I mean, it also.
Again. I don't want it like this.
Lord. And on the other side, too, as women.
Yeah. And so women, please, please, please do not have this conversation with your spouse in the bedroom or in the bed. You want to have these conversations.
Not while.
somewhere else, not
Or
right
after.
before or afterwards. Like,
especially not right before.
Yeah, not right before, and especially not afterwards, because he just put the show of his life, and then you like, yeah, it wasn't. It was. I give you 2 stars. So yeah, definitely do not have that conversation. So if there is some intimacy or some unmet needs, definitely have that. Don't be afraid to have those conversations. Do it lovingly, no finger pointing. Use your I statements, but do not have that conversation in the bedroom.
Won't work out well. But have the conversation. So y'all have an understanding with each one of y'all like, because that leads to, I mean, if you hold that in, you know what it leads to, right? It leads to relationships outside your marriage, because you're not fulfilled in that area. And you can love your wife or love your spouse, and it's not so easy for women. That's just a proven fact. But for men, we can go out and have sex with another woman and come back home loving and kiss my wife, but because we're not being fulfilled at home.
Yeah, and guys, we might not be going out with another guy, but we might introduce a rose into our bedroom.
Oh Lord!
But that's a topic for another story.
All right. So,
forgot where you were, didn't you?
Yeah, I did forget where I was going with this. We talk about blended family and parenting. We talk about that all the time.
Yep.
Those different dynamics that come into the marriage because y'all have different parenting styles or whatnot. Again, that's just a conversation, right?
Yep.
On coming to a happy medium or compromise and how we're going to do that, how we're going to blend the families. That's so simple, y'all. It's just having a conversation and being open to each other and being open to each other as far as opinions on how to blend those, or how to parent, or who's going to be the disciplinarian, or who's going to have those conversations, and just being setting those expectations.
But I think the most important part for parenting in blended families is having those conversations early. And if you haven't had those conversations, have them now.
Exactly. Yeah. And then faith and spiritual leadership. I mean, again, that's another one you should be having before you get married. But if those are happening right now, I mean, y'all, we have couples that we talk to and they're going to separate churches, or they don't agree on going to this church or that church. Again, it's compromise, and you have to have those conversations early. If you're going to separate churches now, you're not serving together. You're not being one flesh, right?
One flesh.
You're not worshiping together, and it leads to divide. So you want to make sure that you're on point there as far as faith. I think we have a couple that is Catholic, and the other one is Presbyterian, or one is Christian, and the other one is atheist.
Yeah.
I mean, those type of things will tear a marriage apart eventually. Right, because when you first get into a marriage or get in a relationship, it's all lovey-dovey, and you're all up on each other, and it's all about other stuff.
Yeah.
But things get real. After a while, those things will start making you disconnect from each other because you can't relate, and you have issues. So make sure you're talking about those things before.
Absolutely. And then lastly, emotional needs and unspoken disappointments. Ouch. That's a big ouch. Because for women, we're emotional creatures, fellas. And so when there's an emotional need that's lacking, that hits us hard.
I think it is too. I mean, I think the emotional piece is more important than the intimacy. I mean, the physical intimacy thing. And so you have to be afraid to be, not be afraid, but you have to be open to speak about those. And it's not going to lead into an argument. It's not leading to conflict. And all this is, leads back into having discussions lovingly, right?
Right.
I think one of the things that we do good at, like I said, we're not perfect.
No.
At all. But I think one thing that we do is say, hey, I'm saying this lovingly. I'm saying this not to hurt your feelings, but it has to be said. And one thing I told her is, the reason why I fell in love with her, the reason why I married her is because I felt like I can talk to her about everything, right? And we had that open conversation. I didn't have those things weighing on my chest or our shoulders, and I gave her the same outlet that, hey, come and talk to me. Come and talk to me.
No. We're not gonna go Jodeci. We're not gonna go Jodeci today.
That's
Come
my
on
favorite
now.
song, y'all.
It is. Should have known that was coming.
But we have that open relationship to where we understand. I can come talk to her about anything, and sometimes as your marriage go on, it gets harder. But our foundation was that we can talk to each other about anything. And I used to play around. I'd be like, I'm coming to you with my friend hat on, or I'm coming to you with my husband hat on.
Yeah.
But I'm saying this lovingly or whatnot, because going through marriage and going through your friendship with things weighing down on your heart or your chest, it just gets worse, right? It's not getting better if you don't get off your chest, because then you're telling somebody else, or you're telling a coworker, or you're telling another sex on what your problems are at home, and you haven't told your wife.
Yeah.
Right. So
that's real bad. So again, this is why we say your spouse is your best friend, because you should be able to talk to them about any and everything. So just like your friends, you want your friends to tell you your breath don't smell too hot, or you forgot to put on your Dove today. Lovingly, the same thing for your spouse. As long as it's been delivered in a lovingly manner. So when he does come to me and say, "Hey, I need to talk to you," I know it's not coming from a place of malice. I know it's coming from a place of love.
To grow our marriage and keep it going. Yeah. Yep. So it is what it is. But avoidance is only going to create distance. Yep. Assumptions, right? Because you're not going to have understanding. You're assuming. We know what you say about assumptions, right? Silence, and it's going to lead into your intimacy and into your bedroom and further.
Yeah,
right?
That long term.
You start distancing yourself.
Distance.
Yeah, you start distancing yourself. And God calls us, like you said, say things lovingly, and that's the key. Is understanding that when you come to your spouse, that they're saying it out of love and not out of malice.
And I love that fateful moment of just remembering scripture. Remember what scripture says. And I know that my husband is not my enemy. And so when things come awry and it's like we're button heads or have a disagreement, I know that his words are coming from a lovingly place.
Yep. And they do. So, Lord have mercy. Anywho. So, don't avoid those conversations. Be open. It just makes it so much easier, and the air is easier, and it just leads into such a place of friendship. When you can have those conversations and know that they're coming from a loving place. They're not to create conflict, but it's to bring you closer into your marriage.
Yeah. So. And then this week in our blog, we talked about avoidance and how there's 4 different types of conflict, and avoidance is the worst one. And so instead of avoiding, just choose the right timing. And so again, we talk about each week our wind down Wednesday. Somebody had a wind down Monday. I'm still trying to figure that out. But spend time together. So it might happen on a Tuesday, but wait till that Wednesday when you're, in that vulnerable state, when you're taking off that spouse hat, when you're putting on the friend hat, and then have those conversations.
But timing is key, fellas and women. Yes. About certain subjects.
But not the bedroom. Remember, not the bedroom.
But so we invite you to join our community of
the Lovebird Community.
Like and I'm not good at the show. Smash the like and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up, and do all those kind of things, please. We know y'all viewing. We see you out there, but you can like and subscribe and smash and
join the community. Kind of so when you join the Lovebird Community, we will send you a free Kingdom Marriage Matters wristband, so you can sport them. So sign up, join up. We're having fun over there. We have a lot of materials to talk about marriage and blending families and the things that we talked about today. So come on over to the Lovebird Community. We have a lot for you.
So this week's challenge is is to sit down with your spouse and have those conversations and things that are get them off your chest. But set expectations before you have those conversations and say, hey, babe, this is coming from a loving place because I want our marriage to grow.
Yep.
It's not something I'm pointing fingers out. Use your I statement, your we and us statements and whatnot. And I just challenge you to do that this week. And I guarantee you, you'll feel so much better. And it might even get you.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had a flashback.
Bye, y'all.
Come on, let's go.